Welcome to Be Happy, Feel Great, where we bring in the experts to help you with your own personal development. I have a very special guest today. Denise Gillies is a Tai Chi and Qigong instructor. And it's going to be a great show, and if you don't know anything about it, really stay tuned because this is really going to be great. Okay, hi Denise.
Hi Michael.
Thanks for joining us today.
Well, I really appreciate the opportunity to bring this idea to many people through your viewers.
Yeah, a lot of people, I realize, don't know, what Tai Chi, Qigong is. It seems like everybody knows about yoga.
Yes, it took a while.
Yeah, and, but yet I've heard people say, well, I tried yoga, it was tough, I couldn't bend and do the different positions and postures, and, when I actually heard about Qigong, it was the answer, and Tai Chi.
I've heard that myself, yeah, and I love that aspect of it. It's something that can be brought to a broad audience. We have people with many health impairments. The whole practice can be modified. So if you can able to breathe and move, they say at least one arm, one leg, you can practice this practice.
All ages?
All ages, from children on up to the very elderly. It has many beneficial aspects to it. So I love it, and I love being able to give it to people.
And it's wonderful that there are people like you that are sharing this and giving classes, which you could tell us a little bit about later and how they could reach you. But for those people who aren't familiar, what is it?
So Tai Chi is an ancient Chinese health modality. It has its origins based in the martial arts. It was developed by monks about 2,000 years ago. And it's really practiced today just as for its health benefits. It's slow movement, breathing, visualization. And in that way, it's bringing benefits to every system of the body. I've had a lot of experience with exercise. I have instructed several different kinds of exercise throughout my life, but this really incorporates mind, body, and spirit. So for the hour that you're practicing, you're getting a tremendous benefit.
You're getting everything.
Absolutely.
It's that balance that they talk about.
Yes, you're
really
spending
balancing
your time.
your body and your mind.
And it's not just about practicing in that hour. It really has many concepts that are directly related to the Tao, an ancient Chinese philosophy. The Tao is sort of a moving through life in a fluid way, being able to move as if you were water, being able to go around obstacles, and yet water is a very powerful material.
Oh, sure.
So there's a lot of connections to that, the balance, and as you go along, you learn more and more about it, and it's a beautiful practice.
Oh, that's great. And how about Qigong?
So Qigong, we usually start every class with Qigong. Qigong is older than Tai Chi. It's based on Chinese medicine that the body is made of a series of meridian systems that transport energy, and it's directly related to all the organs of the body. So acupuncture works in this way. Acupuncture relieves energy where it needs to be released and speeds it up where you need it. So Qigong is a practice of moving that energy. We start with Qigong because it's very easy to follow. It puts the mind and body in a relaxed state, and then we move into the little more demanding forms of Tai Chi.
And Qi is energy.
Qi is energy.
That's that energy that we all have inside.
Yes,
us.
and that has tremendous healing powers. So it's actually a cultivation of that energy.
Yeah. Well, I do have a surprise for you today. Besides having you in the studio and having this opportunity for you to share with all of our viewers all about the practice, remember that day I took a camera down to one of your classes?
Yes, you're a very good student of mine.
Well, I edited a little clip that we're going to be seeing later in the show, okay?
Excellent.
And maybe about halfway through the show, after we teach people what it is, you'll get get a chance, and everybody will, to actually see your class and
That
students.
sounds great.
It'll tie it together nicely.
Absolutely. It's good to see it. You have to actually experience it probably to really understand it, but it's available to everybody in one way or another.
Yeah, no, it's wonderful. And I heard you say before that I have taken your class.
Yes, one of my first students.
I really, let's see, going back, I tried yoga at one time and it wasn't for me. I didn't feel comfortable doing it, and the different postures and positions.
Yes.
And in all honesty, it wasn't fun.
Okay, well, the way I teach this, Tai Chi can be very demanding. It can be a series of 24 forms, 48 forms, it even goes to over 100 forms. So that's intimidating for people. It is difficult to learn. And if you are not having fun, you're not going to do it.
No.
So I try to have these classes structured in a way that makes sense to me, and it's able to be brought to everybody and be able to follow and get all the health benefits that we're practicing. So.
Well, and that's what I liked about it. You did such a great job, and I think I took your first class about 6 years ago.
Yes.
And I had members of my family that were there.
Yes.
And you just did such a great job.
Well, I
and
appreciate that.
You brought it to the level for beginners, and
Yes.
and yet I guess people at any level could do it, and you combined with the Qigong and the Tai Chi. It was almost like a move-in meditation that you were
It's
doing.
absolutely referred to as a moving meditation. And
Okay,
to
that's
me,
the way I felt with it. Yeah.
as soon as we start a class, it's about centering the body, posture, and breathing. And to me, that's what the whole practice is about. It's about being able to forget about everything we're usually thinking about in a habitual way, coming to the moment, and really focusing on whatever it is that's happening in that moment. We hear a lot about staying in the moment these days, but this is definitely a part of that practice.
This is it, that whole
Absolutely.
mindfulness. And
Mindfulness, keeping your thought to whatever it is you're doing in whatever moment it is. And we practice that through a physical form so that hopefully as you go out into your day and your world, you can take that with you and apply it to whatever the situation is.
And the benefits for people in the daily world, I guess, would be to help them with their stressful life.
Absolutely, it's a key stress reduction when you go through putting the mind to the thought, to the breath. We're working on balance. That's a big reason that a lot of elderly people are interested in Tai Chi, because we're working with balance. You get a lot more confidence with your body. And we are doing all kinds of movement of flexibility, good for the joints, the tissues, the bones, all
I think
strength.
internally it's probably
Tai Chi,
good for everything with that
Yes.
energy, that moving energy inside, yeah, right?
it's actually, they'll say it's the most powerful martial art because it's an internal martial art. And I always say to my classes, we're all going to live to 100, whether we want to or not. Technology will keep us alive, so why don't we go in the best way that we can?
And that's the theme of this show. Be happy, feel great.
That's right. How are you going to navigate your life?
This is a way to help you to be happy in your daily routine, in life.
Doesn't cost anything except for maybe the classes, but you can do this anywhere, anytime. It's so simple yet so profound.
And it is. And in turn, it could benefit all aspects of somebody's life. And
I have
help
seen
them.
that happen, and that's
Yeah.
so rewarding to me.
Oh, it has to be. It has to be. And then people could be achieving their own personal success with whatever they're looking to do.
It starts with
And
being at
it's that
peace
chi.
with yourself.
It's that energy.
Yes, it
Yeah,
is.
yeah.
And being at peace with yourself, and then that goes out into everybody, circles everywhere you go. So
Okay, well, let's very shortly, we'll watch that video
Yeah, so
are you
our
ready
video
for it?
was
You know?
a class that we give on the beach, one of my very first classes. I did my training and I said, why am I not using this beautiful resource that we have out on the East End?
The East End, anybody that lives out on the East End, one of the places that Denise offers her class is down at the New Suffolk Beach.
Yes.
And it's just beautiful, and that's what we're going to see in the video very shortly. Denise, just before we watch the video, how can people reach you to find out where else you offer your classes?
So I have classes that are always rotating. I do classes out of the Southold Recreation Center, the Riverhead Recreation Center, which they happen to feature me on the cover of.
Oh,
Been
look at
getting a
that.
lot of exposure.
Wow.
Things are between this and the cover for the Riverhead Recreation Center. I do it in the Riverhead Library. I also can be reached very easily on Facebook. My site is North Fork Tai Chi. If anybody was interested even in private classes or a little group of getting together, I could do that very easily.
Oh, that would be great.
That would be
I'm
the
sure some
best way to
people would enjoy
contact me.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
What a
something
way.
different and healthy. And as you said, you came with your wife and your daughter, and I love to see couples come together,
Oh, yeah.
parents
great.
and siblings and children. It's wonderful. Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Wonderful thing to share.
What about your phone number if they had to reach you?
So you can reach me at 516-369-3922. And just as we said, this is open to everybody. If you have any kind of restrictions, this is a great way to at least start to be able to move and breathe and feel healthy.
Yes, and I'll have that information again at the end of the show for you. But for any, well, why don't we watch the video? We keep talking
Sounds
about
great.
it, okay?
Yes.
The suspense. Whenever
What is
whenever
this
we're,
we're talking about?
yeah. Can we show it? Can we show the video now?
All around us. And so today I thought we'd work with the concept of mindfulness. So everything about what we're doing is with the intent of mindfulness. We're coming to the moment without any judgment. That is a definition of mindfulness. And when we are moving through the Qigong, through the Tai Chi forms, we really want to take the mind to every part of that movement. Mindfulness is sort of about letting go of habitual thought. I'm going to rest them just one on top of the other, just below the belly button. This area is our lower dantian, which is the area where most of our energy is stored. And lengthening. Inhale, looking up, sinking. Exhale, curving down. We always work towards keeping these movements fluid. We're never actually coming to a stop. We move with the breath. So first let's come to the center. Find where your center is, where both feet have equal weight distributed. Nice. And then we begin to shift. We're going to shift forward and we're going to shift back. Torso facing the water. So there's a spinal twist. Nice, good. And so mindfulness, right? Movement and being mindful. And so let's just take a little bit of a water pulse here. Come again to that nice rooted horse stance. So we attributed that to maybe instability here, maybe the movement of the water itself. But through Qigong and Tai Chi, it's a moving meditation, a little bit easier to place the mind to the movement. Plus all the benefits to the body of the movement and relaxing mind. Beautiful. Inhale, open, expand. Exhale, soften and sink. And by being right in this water, we can even incorporate that movement into the arms, into the hands, into the fingers. This soft movement. Water is very soft and yielding, and yet it's powerful enough to bring down mountains, right? Forward, curve the spine, drop the chin to the chest, rounding the arms, rounding elbows, and then opening, expanding. Chest, heart comes forward, lift chin up. Exhale, sink. Inhale, expand. Lifting chin to sky, opening. So just this beautiful opening, closing, seaweed-like movement. Nice. Good. Namaste.
Namaste.
So what'd you think?
Well, thank you. I thought you did a great job with that, and it's so nice to actually see it on film.
Yeah, that
because I
was,
haven't
remember
had
that day I skipped class and I was
Yes.
running around with the camera
Right,
and
what is he
taking all
doing?
this, and you never saw it edited, you know, but
Well, thank you so much for doing that. I think it's a great way for people to see what it actually is, and that was such a beautiful spot, and you had a great group there. So
yeah, and
yeah.
you know, at the beach, the thing that you can't do at the library or a rec
Yes.
center is go in the water.
It's my favorite classes. You know, part of Tai Chi is about making a whole connection to nature and the environments around us. So the idea to be near water and earth and sky, that takes it in a whole different experience when you're able to do that.
It really, it's wonderful. And if, now that people saw it, if they want to reach you, I just want to mention again, Denise's phone number, and I'm going to sneak it over here. It's 516-369-3922. And Denise mentioned before that she has classes in the summer at some of the local beaches. She could give you a private lesson or group. And also, if you live on the North Fork, the Riverhead area, she'll have classes in Riverhead and also out in South Hold at the rec center.
Yes, yeah.
And I'm sure if you go on her Facebook page, new things will pop up, and it's probably a good way to keep in contact also and reach Denise, and that's at North Fork Tai Chi on Facebook. But anyway, so we had a chance to see it, we showed people.
Yes, and what I love about what's happening now is, you know, this is kind of an esoteric practice. What are you really doing? Where are the benefits? Hard and concrete. But right now, with all the technology that they have, they're actually taking a lot of MRIs of the brain, what goes on, how does this change the brain, a lot of studies about where the benefits are to the body and boosting immune system, preventative things. And so to get this documented science-based research from very many reputable places it gives that much more attention to it.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I have been seeing more articles and
Yes,
blogs
and doctors
and things
who are
recently.
recommending it in addition to their treatments.
Yes.
A lot of physical therapists, a lot of even neurology issues. The doctors are kind of taking that Eastern concept and bringing it into the treatment, whatever they're getting from the West as well.
Well, there's so many benefits, and I think in the future we're even going to hear of more benefits. So for the people who are starting a practice today, you have no idea all the good things you might be doing that haven't even been proven.
We
Okay?
talked about how in this world, we're living in this very fast-paced, constantly distracted world, and this is definitely a swing back to an ancient way of being, which I think a lot of people are ready for and looking for. We mentioned,
Yes.
I saw this morning, we have happiness apps that you can get on your phone and
smartphone,
meditation
yeah,
apps.
Yeah, isn't that something?
So there's definitely a movement.
Well,
people are
you
looking
know what would be
for.
great, Denise, if we could use this show to have something practical for people. and we talked about it. Are you still up for maybe doing a meditation
I think it's
here?
a great idea. I
Okay.
love the idea that people can understand this can be done very simply in so many different places, especially places where you'd start to get frustrated, waiting in line, waiting in traffic, and yet this affords an opportunity to be able to do a meditation, and it can be very brief.
Okay,
So we're going to take
how about
your
let's
viewers.
do it. Okay.
Okay, so
Are you guys all ready for this? Denise is actually going to do a meditation on Be Happy, Feel Great. And the beauty of this is I'm going to put this up on YouTube.
Let's do it at home
I'm going
too.
to put it on
yeah.
YouTube, and people could go back to this show. You know, they might be watching it right now on LTV or someplace,
Yes.
but you know,
It'll be accessible
if they go
YouTube.
to Denise Gillies and
Okay.
Tai Chi, and you know, they'll
Excellent.
find it on YouTube. And
All right, good.
okay,
So I
let's-
think this is something you can actually participate in. Sometimes people are intimidated by meditation. They think this is not something I can do. My mind is too restless. But it's something that throughout your day, even at work, you can take that. I say 3 breaths. 3 breaths, they say, will realign, take a little shift, put you back into a fresh perspective. So the
Okay,
first thing we're going to do is kind of move to the edge of our chair. When we do this, we're on the sit bones, and it naturally brightens the spine. You're going to see maybe feeling that you're sitting a little taller. It's a very alert practice meditation.
Okay.
The feet are planted firmly to the floor. You actually create right angles between the ankle, the knee, and the spine, the sit bones. Hands can be placed wherever you feel comfortable. They can be here, they can be here. You can take a little yoga mudra if you'd like. We let the top of the head feel as though it's reaching up to the sky. You can gently close your eyes or keep the eyes open in a restful gaze. And I say the most important part of my class is this. You take your attention to the breath. Bring your attention right to the tip of the nose on the very next breath. Breathing in. Into the chest cavity, into the belly. There's a slight pause, and breathe out. Breathing in, you're following the movement of the breath through the body. Slight pause, exhale, slight pause. So what we're doing has immediate profound effects. As soon as we begin to bring the attention to the breath as it moves through the body, it's connecting the mind to the body. As soon as we begin to draw attention to following the movement of breath through body, we're coming to this very moment. We're releasing distractions and coming to this very moment. As soon as we begin this breathing, the body naturally begins to slow down the breath, and that sends signals to all the parts of the body, cardiovascular, respiratory, the immune system. The body begins to shift in a rest and digest phase, parasympathetic. Taking one more nice big inhale in through the nose. You can even open the mouth and exhale. And coming back to your workday. So
Nice. Okay.
I hope you could feel that. And it is a very simple practice. No one even has to know you're doing it, as I said. And someone said, well, if I'm driving, I'll be distracted. But I said, you're a lot more distracted with what you're usually thinking about than when you're...
You just don't want to close your eyes when you drive.
Don't close your eyes.
Well, you know, it reminded me of your class because
Yes.
you end it with a nice meditation. And
I always think this is the whole purpose. We're
Yeah.
going towards a meditation, and the movement makes it easier. And by the end of the class, we're ready to come to that stillness.
And if you could imagine an hour with Denise and finishing it up with the meditation on a beautiful beach and
Or at an evening class.
Yeah, and what I love about your classes is you're so positive and grateful to the environment and appreciate everything and share that
Yes.
with everybody in your class.
We talked about how I started this practice. I've had a life of physical activity, and I saw something on PBS. It was a fundraiser, and it was a man doing Qigong, and I thought, wow, that's amazing. It seemed very powerful. And then I had a particular time in my life about 6 years ago where everything turned upside down. We had, as the recession did to a lot of people, we had a completely we had to reinvent ourselves, my husband and I both.
Oh, wow.
And that is when I myself was looking for something. A lot of times my students are looking for a physical relief or an emotional release. And this practice teaches you how to respond instead of react.
And I, from your classes, you actually have that turn your world upside down.
Yes, we do. Yes, that is part of one of the
Tai Chi.
forms, is where we physically turn what we consider our world upside down, and Tai Chi is about being able to know what to do with that.
And isn't that great? Because nowadays so many people, when they have problems in their life, that we all do, and dealing with them,
Yes.
they might turn to very negative things. And this is
Exactly,
just a
yeah.
nice positive way to deal with the stresses that we
That's
have
right.
in our life.
And it's almost like a preparation.
Well, Denise, this has just been a great show.
Well, thank
and-
you,
and
Michael.
I
And
wanna-
as I said, you were such a good student.
Oh,
So-
yeah.
And thank you
And
for
I'm
making
looking
that
forward
film.
to it.
I love it.
Oh, okay. That's, that was my gift to you.
Thank
You gave
you.
me so many. And if anybody wants to get in touch with you, again, North Fork Tai Chi on Facebook. Denise, what's that phone number again they could call you at?
Phone number is 516-369-3922.
Okay, that's Denise Gillies. And if you want to contact her at any time, find out about her latest classes. And I'll tell you, that private or group, that's fascinating also. Maybe even a
Yes.
party or something.
Absolutely.
Wouldn't that be?